MrShine.
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 Hello, hello, it's MrShine. We are going to pick up another Hearthstone arena, and I think this time it is Rogue time. Time to go with Rogue. I do okay with Rogue. About average with my, I think, just under 70%. This first is pretty bad. These cards, I mean, Headcrack, it is just very expensive to do 2 damage just to a hero. It's like a more expensive Sinister Strike that still stays in your hand. Ancient Mage is also very overcosted, and that Battle Cry does not usually work. Blade Flurry, I hope that I have Deadly Poisons in this deck, or an Assassin's Blade. If I don't, it's really bad, but it is probably the most likely to not be bad, because those other cards are good. Alright, speaking of weapon classes, both Deckhand and Corsair are actually reasonable in Rogue. Deckhand, I think, is even more reasonable, because just having a weapon, a 2-1 charge, it's like a cheap bluegill, that is what I'm going to pick. Corehound is too expensive for the 5 HP. Dread Corsair is probably a little bit better for a warrior, where you have more attack generally. Okay, Footman does not do enough. Raid Leader is too expensive as a 3-mana 2-2, even if it does have the occasional goodness with its buff. But Earthen Ring is a very solid 3-drop. It can help heal you, it can help heal your heroes or your minions to allow them to 2-for-1. It is very flexible. Stays on, it's what you want. It's what you want. Ooh, well, I could go Miracle Rogue with my Auctioneer, but seeing as I only have 1 Blade Flurry, I don't really know if I'm going to do that or not. Whereas, on the other hand, Wild Pyro can be very good in Arena. It is, you know, I'll get occasional spells. Usually it'll be a 3-2 for 2, but sometimes it can do some fancy stuff. And Questing, if I had a low curve later on, I might pick it. But I like to short my 2-drops. Ooh, this is tough. Backstab is so good, and I think that is what I'm going to go, even though it's so hard to pass up an Ogre. Ogre is really strong in Arena, but Backstab, I mean, I have a pretty early start. Rogues are pretty aggressive, which is maybe partly why I don't do as good with Rogues as some other classes, is that I am usually more control-styled, but so far it's looking good. And now I get an Ogre. That's the one. Fan of Knives, the 1 damage, usually it just doesn't do enough. Dark Scale is not bad as a 5/4/5 that sometimes helps, but Ogre is Ogre, and Ogre wins games. Another Farseer, I will take it. These two are overcosted taunts that die too easily. Pretty much, they very often die to things that cost less mana than they, so they are not very good. Interesting. Gnomish Inventor is tempting. I like Gnomish Inventor. Most of the time, card draw minions don't do a lot, and you kind of get set back on tempo. But Inventor might not be ugly at the same time. Mighty Berserker is a 2. I like 2s. Mighty Berserker synergizes with Wild Pyromancer. Not that I have too many abilities to use that yet. I actually think I will Amani and hope that I can get a better 4 later. But if I had worse options, I would not be opposed to getting the Gnomish. So this is where how aggressive do I want to be? I think getting 1 sprint is probably good. Cold Blood is sometimes worthwhile if you have super aggressive, but no. A sprint can be really good, and those 2 are just not the greatest options. Alright, Pine Size is really ugly too. It can die to 2 3s. Cobra pretty much is removal that I'd be happy to play late game as well as early, and I already talked about how bad Ancient Mage is. So I think it's Cobra time, even though I'm a little concerned that my 4 and 5s are empty. Maybe that'll be solved right here. Here it is, it's solved. And it is going to be a Spiteful. Spiteful is terrifying in Rogue, because I always have weapons, and if it's enraged, it pretty much gives me an option to have a Fiery War Axe for free all the time until it dies. Okay, out of these guys, I think this is a good time to fill up my 4. I already have a couple 3s. I like Stormwind's charge ability more than I like Dragonlean Mechanics' slight more stats. I guess you could kind of argue that it's like a 4/5 that's split, it's easy to kill, but with the prevalence of mages in the arena or other things that can do 1 damage, it's usually a 4-mana 2/4 that costs a little bit extra mana for them. So I will take a charge minion. Charge is really good. And Sen'jin Shieldmaster is really good. It's a great 4. I'll protect some of my weenies, my little guys early. Ardent Squire is okay, but I'm not a huge fan of Ardent Squire, especially in the arena where it just does not This does not often do enough. Would it be worth it for me to Fan of Knives? I really don't like that card. It's very expensive and I would rarely want to play it on 3. It is card draw, but I think this is a Gurubashi turn. Priestess, it dies too easily, it's very expensive and the hero ability is not that useful even though I am a rogue and I will hit things with my dagger. But I think it is Berserker. Unhappily Berserker. I will champion here, I think. Champion is just solid. Fen Creeper is okay. Wolf Rider is removal. I think I go for the strongest minion and something to shore up. If this is a late game deck, hard to tell yet. I think this play, Murloc Tidehunter, it's too easy to ping. And again, mages. I think it's Magi. Magi will at least synergize with Blade Flurry and Backstab right now. Maybe I'll get something else later. And Dread Corsair, if I had a Deadly Poison, I'd be more inclined to pick this, but right now it's probably going to be a 3/3 for 3 font. Magi. Okay, do I have anything? I could be aggressive with a Rocketeer, but I think these are probably better. At this point, I have I only have 2 2s, so I will definitely get one of these. Question is, do I have enough things to brew back Battlecry-wise? Battlecry that for an extra 2 damage, not worth. Probably not worth. Heals, Charge. Nope. Nope, it's Fairy Dragon. OMG. It's an epic. And I think it's probably Karn. Fills up my 6-drop. Super good. Really hard to kill. It's like a double Yeti. As beautiful as a double rainbow, and as terrifying as a Yeti. And Nixie is good too, though. But it's Karn. Hagel's kind of a joke. So I'd be tempted to do Sap if this was a hyper-aggressive deck that would go all tempo, but I don't think it is. I think it is Brewmaster. It is Brewmaster. And here, I don't play Secret, so I'm not going to play Secret Keeper. I have no silences, so I cannot get Ancient Watcher. It is Sun Fury Protector, who might sometimes may be useful with that Battle Cry. Alright. I think it is Cleric, especially with some of my early stuff now. Grimscale is a joke, and it helps all other Murlocs, so not only do I have no Murlocs, it could hurt me. Excuse me, Geomancer, that spell damage is not enough. Shattered Sun is just a really solid 3-drop. Alright, here we go, Perdition's Blade. I think I take that here. I don't have anything for Master of Skies to really allow it to go crazy, I don't believe. I could make this an expensive Patient Assassin, I suppose. Yeah, you can do some fun things with Crazy Alchemist, but Perdition's Blade, when comboed, can be real strong. And now I think it is Cult Master for some good card draw. I have a few things that can charge, and I have some cheap guys. Archmage is pretty expensive, and I don't have enough spells to make use of it. And Berserkers are slow. I already have one. Another Backstab. Thank you very much. I'm not even going to talk about Patriarch. Look at how expensive it is for a 1/4. A 1/4 taunt. Yeah, whatever. Doesn't do anything good. Ooh, another Perdition's Blade. I think I will. This deck can handle 2 Perdition's Blades. It also makes it even more aggressive. 1 Blade Flurry should be fine. And now I have something that can actually make it useful. Yes, please. Ooh, this is ugly. These two are absolute jokes, so it has to go with Geomancer. There's just no question about it. Those things get pinged away too easily, and then you just lose a card. Okay, so now let's review. I'm getting towards the end. 2 Backstabs, 1 Deckhand, Blade Flurry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Lots of 2s, so I will most likely have a 2 to play in the beginning. I will most likely, well, hopefully follow it up with Perdition's Blade to clear. I have some 3s. It's tempting for me to Booty Bay, even though it's bad. My 5s, not great, good, and that's it. Again, number of 2s, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have enough 2s. I think I bodyguard here. It is not good, but I think it is the right call here. Alright, Tiger. I like Tiger. I'm going to pick Tiger, I think, here. Betrayal can be good if someone positions poorly, but if they don't position poorly, it's pretty much a 1-for-1. Tiger can be super strong. And now I wish that I did not pick up that bodyguard. Bluegill's good too, but I think it's bodyguard. And I think I Archmage at this point, just a little more late game. I have a few more backstabs now, and these two are just not that strong. Last one. Alright, and I think it's Sunwalker. Sunwalker is just a solid card. So, yeah, no eviscerates. Pretty sad. But I do have a few backstabs. I don't have any assassinates. I have my sprint. This is not... I think this deck has the potential to get some early rush on it with the backstabs, with the solid amount of 2s, with the Perdition's Blades. I can put a lot of pressure on them early. If it is not looking like it's going to be a win there, I have the ability to have some card draw with Cultmaster, Sprint. I have not the most late game. I don't have a lot of direct damage with this deck. I'm going to have to... I'll have to think a little bit how I want to play this one, but I think it's solid. I think it's solid. And I think I can go at least 7 wins with this deck. Yeah. Yeah, everyone, I can do it. So, join me next time, and we see if I actually do. So yeah, well, I've been MrShine, and I see you later. Bye!